YouTube, Droid Freak here, and welcome back to Farm Everything. I've actually done a couple of things since the last episode, nothing too major. Chopped down the trees in the tree farm, and I just went to the zombie farm and ground some experience and enchanted myself a silk touch pickaxe, which is exactly what I was looking for, because I want to go caving with my ender chest so I can place a whole bunch of stuff in there to gather a bunch of resources, because in this episode I want to finally build the Enderman farm. I figured out what I want to do with the design, so what you're going to see for this episode is basically a big time lapse of me actually building the Enderman farm. Aw, you love me. Yeah, you're going to see a big time lapse of me actually building the Enderman farm, and I'm going to, in the meantime, also have to go caving. Maybe I'll show some time-lapse footage of me caving too, though I get the feeling that I might leave that out just to keep the episode a reasonable length, because it's probably going to take a long time to do the whole building process anyways, not including the caving that I have to do to get resources to actually build it. And this intro was probably recorded maybe even a week before you see this episode, because it's going to take me a lot of work to actually do this. But I want to do it, and I want to do it all in one episode. And unlike when I built my mob farm like months ago, when I put that all in one episode, it ended up being really long. I'm going to basically time-lapse this whole process and then explain how it works afterwards. So it should be... oh, baby zombie. It's going to be hopefully pretty quick. Try to keep it 20 or 30 minutes. We'll see what happens. Anyways, that time lapse is going to happen right now. Here we go. back. I think I've finished with the Enderman farm for now. I actually only made 3 layers up at the top, but each layer has about 60 spawning spaces, exactly 60 spawning spaces actually. So about a stack of spawning spaces per layer because of my doubled up design. So there are pretty fair amount of spawning spaces there. The nice thing about this doubled up design is that if I come back with more resources and decide to expand it, I can expand it up quite a ways and get this farm working ridiculously fast. By the way, these guys are probably really loud for you, even though my sound is at my standard 25%. Turn that down even more. Yeah, that's nice and quiet. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll go explain how this works a little bit. Got some angry Endermen in there, but hopefully they won't cause any issues. I don't think they really can. So at the bottom, I have 3 layers of pistons with 2 rows of pistons on each side. Don't fall off. With 3 rows of pistons. Each layer has 2 rows of pistons on each side. I made the bottom row sticky pistons because it was giving me a little bit of trouble. All the other pistons in this design are regular pistons. So even though I got my slime farm, I decided to use regular pistons to save time and effort. So yeah, all the pistons in this design are activated by tripwires. There isn't any redstone, dust, or repeaters in this design. It's entirely tripwires and pistons. So as you can see, the bottom row, we just have these tripwires and sticky pistons right on top of them with glass. I could have used actually any block for that because it's not within Enderman head height, so it wouldn't make them suffocate, but I decided to use glass just because. Here's the second layer. We have more pistons here. This layer basically just pushes them down into the first layer. The whole idea of this bottom section is to funnel the 2 rows into the center so that I can have 2 main rows of Enderman. Don't fall into the void. Okay, so I can have 2 rows of Enderman higher up. See, I have these 2 fall sections with the 40 block drop to damage the Enderman down to 1 punch. Now, there is a slight issue where some Endermen end up being at 3 health because these pistons have to be extended. Let me demonstrate. If these pistons have to be extended, then the Endermen only fall like 38 blocks. They fall 2 blocks less than they have to. And actually, it might be 39 is the correct one. Anyways, they fall 2 blocks less, and then they end up with 2 more health than they're supposed to have. So some of the Endermen have 3 health, but that's really rare, actually. I haven't had that happen very often. And I don't think I've really had any Endermen die from the fall now that I've finished the design. At the beginning, like, while I was building it, I had plenty die from the fall, but I think I've fixed that all up now. So, I skipped the row with the vines. I have vines here to reset the fall. Fairly standard concept for Enderman farms to have the vines there to reset the fall, so I can have them fall from any height and have their fall reset to the 39 block limit that it's supposed to be at. Then each of the regular rows has 2 sides like this, and each side has 1 tripwire and 2 pistons on either side. So if the Endermen step on this tripwire, they get pushed into the center. Sort of like that. They get pushed into the center, fall down, hit the vines, hit the bottom, and so on. I have 3 layers like that, and that is all that I've managed to create today, or today and yesterday actually. I recorded this over 2 days. But it required a lot of resource grinding, and believe it or not, one of the resources that I had trouble grinding is actually string. Turns out that my mob farm doesn't output string at nearly fast enough a rate for this, so I ended up using up all my string, and I had to go get more. So I sacked the string from the Stronghold libraries, and I went and found that mine shaft that I explored a few episodes back, and I stripped all the string from there. And as I was coming up from the mine shaft thinking, well, this isn't really enough, I run into a spider spawner. I'll show you a clip of that right now. So here I am, digging up from a mine shaft where I just collected some string. And what do I find? A spider spawner. With infinite string. Just here. Just as I was, like, exploring an entire mine shaft to find string. I just find infinite string. Well, at least now I have infinite string. That's cool. Oh, creeper! Creeper. Freaking creeper. Ah! I'm getting out of here. So many creepers. Anyways, guys. I really hope those guys didn't, like, take out the spawner, 'cause that would... Okay, good. The spawner's still there. Anyways. Yep. So that's me from the past saying, hey, cool spider spawner. So I actually farmed some string from that. That's why I have so much right now. And at the moment, the limiting factor is iron. Iron is also a pain to grind because you have to get it from mining or from an iron farm, which I haven't built yet. I really should build an iron farm. That might be in the next episode even. I mean, I built one on Super Flat Survival. I built a 3-cell one on my first world, World 1, and I built like another single cell one, though sort of a fancy one, on Freecraft. I'm definitely no stranger to iron farms, but I haven't built one on Farm Everything yet, which is kind of weird considering that it's supposed to be the farming place, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet because I've been too busy on this thing. But now this thing is done, should get plenty of experience from it, and that'll be great for doing all sorts of things. It'll be really nice to have a good supply of enchanted tools. I mean, this thing isn't fully completed yet, because I've only finished 3 rows, and I'd like to have several more, but it's definitely working quite well. And once I get some more iron and string, I should be able to finish it. I think cobblestone is not a limiting factor right now. Yeah, I have plenty of cobblestone. I actually used some TNT to mine cobblestone. That's where some of my cobble came from. Anyways, I think I'm going to end off the episode now, probably. Well, I'll check how long the episode has been. Oh, Angry Enderman. Get out of here! Woo! That's right, you be left in the dust, Enderman. I'm getting out of here. Anyways, I will check how long the episode has been. Probably end it off. I don't think there's really anything else to do in this episode. And yeah. So as you can probably hear by the outro music in the background, I have decided to end off the episode now. It's around 20 minutes, which is pretty good length. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the Enderman farm build. What are you doing outside? Get in. Get in the house. Come. Anyways, I should probably hold this up. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my videos. And I will see you guys in the next there's no good place to put this guy. See you guys in the next video. Bye.